3 months ago, I made a video explaining my 3 months challenge to become fluent, and the language I chose was Swedish. Today, I want to tell you exactly what happened, my daily routine, the mistakes I made, the progress I achieved, whether I can actually call myself fluent, and what I'm planning to do next. And for the next project, I will need your opinion. Halo mina kära prenumerationer och andra som inte ännu prenumererar. Jag ska prata engelska i den här videon, men först skulle jag vilja prata lite om en sak. Jag hoppas att mitt uttal nu är bättre än den förra videon. När jag hörde det, jag var så arg eftersom jag visste det riktiga uttalet, men mitt huvud var inte där. Jag pratade bara utan att tänka, så jag gjorde många fel och sedan var jag ledsen och skämdes. So yes, if you want to hear me with a terrible accent and awful grammar, you can watch the week 12 video. Now let's talk about my daily routine. During these 3 months, I studied for 175 hours. I listened to Swedish radio and YouTube every single day. During the second month, I started listening to the radio every morning for 30 minutes. At first, I watched beginner content on YouTube, but very quickly I wanted real Swedish content made for Swedish people. I couldn't understand everything, but somehow that made me more motivated. If you want details, I list all the videos I watch on my website. I keep them so I can rewatch them later. It helps me to see my progress and to stay motivated. After listening practice, I did my daily lesson. Every day I tried to learn something new, and if something was too hard, I spent 2 days on it. My rule was about 10 new words and only 1 grammar point at a time. Grammar is great, but without vocabulary you can't build sentences. I studied only the grammar I needed. After each lesson, I wrote sentences using the new grammar and vocabulary, and while writing, I also spoke out loud. Everything is in this notebook. Before bed, I reviewed vocabulary and sometimes made very short sentences because I didn't have time for more. I haven't talked about reading yet. I read children's book and short texts online, and that's where I made my first big mistake. When I read, there were too many words I didn't know, and because I wanted to understand everything, I looked up every single word in the dictionary. That might have been okay if I didn't also add them all to my vocabulary list. So during the first month, I had the vocabulary from my lesson, plus the vocabulary from reading. It was way too much and I couldn't memorize everything, so I deleted almost all the words I had added from reading. Another mistake, I didn't use my new words enough. I wrote sentences and said them out loud during the lesson, but when I moved to a new lesson, I didn't practice the old vocabulary again. So now, when I see those words, I know their meaning, but because I never use them again, I can produce them in sentences. That's why I can understand books or articles, but when I have to speak, I struggle. Too much input and not enough output. And now my level, I will talk about the 4 skills: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. First, reading. I can read beginner texts and articles and understand the overall meaning, even if I don't know every word. For example, on Monday, I read an article about a topic I never studied, and thanks to the picture and context, I still understood it. So I would say 8.2 plus or maybe low B1 in reading comprehension. For listening, this is not as good. I recognize words I studied, but I rarely understand full sentences. Maybe it's because when I listen to Swedish radio in the morning, it's always the economic news, which I don't really care about. On YouTube, sometimes I understand everything, but after 10 minutes, my brain is exhausted and I only catch random words. So I think I'm A1 or A2. For writing, you saw some of the text I wrote, like this one from the 30 and this from the 82 and 84. I can write a story or explain things, but my grammar is not strong enough to be beyond A2. Some people might say B1, but I make too many beginner mistakes. And finally, speaking, strangely, I can talk for 20 to 40 minutes inventing random stories using words from my vocabulary list. But when I have to talk about myself, I freeze. I can't invent things, so because speaking about yourself is basically the core of A1, I think I'm A1 or maybe A1 plus. So overall, I would say I'm A2. My unrealistic goal was a strong A2 or low B1. I didn't reach it, and honestly, I knew I wouldn't, but I'm still proud. 3 months ago, I already said I didn't believe you can become fluent in a few weeks or months, and now I can confirm it. You can't. Some people might say I didn't study enough or didn't use the right method, and yes, it's true, on average, I studied only 1 hour and 50 minutes a day, but even if I studied 3 or 4 hours every day, would my brain actually remember every word and every grammar rules? I don't think so. Maybe, and it's a big maybe, it could be possible if the language is very close to your native language. But if you think it is possible, I would genuinely love to see you try this challenge. I would love to be proven wrong. Even though I had many difficulties during this challenge, I truly enjoyed it. I love the fact that I can say a few sentences in Swedish after such a short time. I definitely want to do this challenge again with a new language. I also have a language from university that I like to revisit because I never went beyond A1. But if you have ideas for a fun language to try, tell me. I'm open to almost anything. For the end of the year, my goals are reach B1 in Spanish, which I think is possible, and continue Swedish slowly, review verbs, and keep describing YouTube videos to become a solid A2. I didn't mention that I speak Swedish while watching videos to train fast speaking. To conclude, no, I am not fluent after 3 months, but I'm definitely better than I was, and I'm not stopping here. Tell me which language I should challenge myself with next, and maybe next time we can learn together. Hey now!